welcome to my channel. I knew this love bombing of Love is Blind that Netflix dropped on us would make me so stressed out because yesterday we had Love is Blind UK, which I'm recapping today, the first 4 episodes. But then today, the new episodes of Love is Blind Mexico dropped, and I really want to catch myself up. And on top of all this Love is Blind content, the Umbrella Academy, the final season, also dropped today. So I'm so sorry, Mexico, you are going to have to wait. I find it so interesting that it seems like there's a lot more interest in the UK version than on the Mexico version. And I would love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. Why do you think that is? Because when Mexico dropped the first 4 episodes last week, I looked up to see if any channels were covering. I found one channel that covered Mexico, and then and then my video, which I thought my video was going to tank, but for my humble channel standards, it actually did pretty well. And then when I looked for videos on the UK version, there's a lot of them already. It has to be the language barrier, right? Because a lot of people, sometimes they put Love is Blind on the background and then they do their stuff, they cook, they clean, they're not really watching, but they're listening. And then if you don't speak Spanish, you have to put the dub version, which always sucks. So if you want to hear it in Spanish, you have to be sitting on the couch to read the subtitles. Let me get to my notes here. Let's do couple by couple like we did with Mexico. We start with our golden couple, Sabrina and Steven. There's always a golden couple every season. We have Laura and Cameron. I even listed them, Brennan and Alexis. In the Brazilian version, we had Agatha and Renan, Amy and Johnny on the last US version. So there's always a golden couple. So Sabrina, she's my crush on the season. Black hair and blue eyes. Oh, it's game over for me. She's my girl crush of the season. And then she has the Irish accent on top of it. What worried me about them, I really like them as a couple, but what worries me, it's the long-term aspect of it, because she's still not sure that she wants to have kids. And she told him that. Right at the end, she said that there is a possibility because she's a woman of a certain age and she doesn't even know when she gets to the point that she decides that, oh, maybe I do want to have kids. It wouldn't be possible for her because of the age. She said, I might not be fertile. But there is the option of getting a surrogate, adoption. But I think Steven let her off the hook too easily, because at the beginning of the conversation he said that he wants a mini me, and he even said it's part of my DNA. So I think he's one of those guys that wants a kid to be his own, like his own genes. I don't think he will go for adoption. I think that might be a problem in the future for them. And it's interesting with Steven that it just showed that we cannot judge a book by its cover, because I thought he was going to be a meathead when he said, like, I own a gym and blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, there's nothing here. And then when he told the story about his ex-girlfriend who got cancer and he was there for her, I was like, oh, Steven, oh, he's like pulling all the heartstrings. Next, we have Ollie and Demi. But he broke up with Catherine basically because he thought that the places that she goes to, like she was going to some nightclubs in London, he thought those are like pretentious places. I don't blame him for it to assume that, but you know what happens when people assume things. But you can tell a lot about someone by the places they go to. There's a neighborhood here in San Diego. I don't want to say the name of the neighborhood because I don't want to throw them under the bus. But every time I met a guy and he told me he lived in this particular neighborhood, I was like, nope, not sure about this, because it is a party neighborhood. It's full of like frat boys, sorority girls. It's just like for party people. It might be like very judgmental on my part, but it's just the stereotype of the neighborhood. So I'm not mad at Ollie for thinking that Catherine can be a certain type of person because she goes to this kind of places, even though she's trying to clean up. She said, oh no, it was my birthday, I don't go there that often. By the way, Catherine, she's such an ugly crier. Poor girl. She's a very pretty girl, but whenever she cries, she turns into like Kim Kardashian. Remember Kim Kardashian, like that meme of her like crying? That's Kat. And then Kat ends up with Freddie, who is the sweetest guy. I get a feeling that they don't vibe really well together. And is it just me? He's a funeral director. And is it just me that thought that was really cool? Most of the girls were like, what? What? Huh? They were so like astonished by it. And I was like, that's really cool, because I think to be a funeral director, you have to show a lot of empathy, or have a lot of empathy for the families. What bothered me is that he was Catherine's second choice. It's always weird to me when people are so into someone and they're focused on them and they're in love with them. I want to marry you. And then when that person dumps them, they're like, well, what about this one right here? You know, and then you ended up being someone's second choice. Back to Ollie and Demi. One thing that kind of like was a little red flag on Ollie's, that at the beginning of the show, he said something, I'm used to dating with my eyes. And when he met her on the face-to-face, he said that she is curvy in all the right places. And I was like, can a woman be curving in the wrong places? That ticked me the wrong way. Is it just me? Am I being like too sensitive? If she's curvy in the right places, then, you know, we women, we get into our heads. Then we're gonna look at our bodies and like, am I curvy in the wrong places? Sometimes like men, they just don't know what to say, you know? One thing that I loved about Demi, hold on, there's a truck outside. Is that she had probably the most relatable moment that I can think of on top of my head of all Love is Blind seasons. For me as a woman, because she said that she has, are you ready for me to butcher another word? I even wrote it down. Endometriosis. If you don't know, it's like when you have really bad period pains, like in your uterus, it's, you know, on our lady parts. I never had cramps, and my friends were always so jealous that I didn't experience like any cramps. Like I cry a little bit on my period, but then lately, I don't know if it's like age, I've been having really bad cramps. It's usually like the second day of my period that is just like, it's so painful that like you can barely get out of bed. And I hate complaining, especially because men, they think we're faking it. But when she said that, I thought it was so relatable, because when you do have endometriosis or even just period pain and cramps, you need to find a partner that's not only empathetic, but it's also very patient. Now we have our first love triangle, Tom, Maria, and Natasha. Tom is my favorite. Maybe because he's 38, he's more mature, but he's still got that youthfulness about him. He loves, you know, telling dad jokes. I had the feeling that he was there for the right reasons. But when he said, he was telling one of the girls, this is a massive gamble. This is going to be a massive gamble. I was just like, buddy, this whole show, it's a massive gamble. When he told Maria that he was making a massive decision and he started crying, I felt like he was so sincere. Watch this little video of him saying, you can experience the whole world. You can see as many sunsets as you can, but it's not the same if you don't share it with someone else. And I'm like, isn't that true?
I've always thought that my life would be defined by like the places that I'd see and the experiences that I had, but it's not about that. It's like the people that you love.
The saddest part for me on this little triangle between Tom, Maria, and Natasha was how Natasha dealt with the breaking up of Tom dumping her. Because the hardest part of Love is Blind, it's when you have someone that already struggles with self-confidence, especially about their looks, and then they go on a show that it's not about the looks, that it's about their personality and what's inside. And then when they get dumped, it's like, oh, they didn't even see me and they don't like my personality. That's such a hit. You can be the most confident person, but you know, when somebody dumps you and they didn't even see you, it reminded me a lot of Emilia in the Swedish version. It was so sad at the reunion when she was saying that she wanted to go on the show because she wasn't very confident about her looks, but her personality was a 10. And then it didn't work out and she kept thinking that she wasn't enough. And she said, my looks are enough, my personality isn't enough, I'm not enough. And that's so heartbreaking. We have another little triangle. We have Sam, Nicole, and Benaya, which I'll call him Ben or Benny. Benny Boop, Benny Boop Boop. So Sam, this guy has fuckboy written all over him. My fuckboy radar, it's top notch. As soon as this boy popped up on screen, my radar was like, wah, 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 ding, 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 ding. So he's saying that I had problems in relationships before or finding a relationship because when women look at my Instagram and I only post pictures of me at the gym and me with no shirt on, and they get the wrong impression. Multiple girls asked him and said, so you give fuckboy vibes. And then he called himself a Peter Pan. He's 31 years old. Sir, I'm not here to find a son. I'm here to find a husband. Enough with this Peter Pan syndrome. Everything that he was saying in the pods was so rehearsed. It was almost like he was putting on a show. And one of the girls, that was Nicole, she pointed out, she's like, I feel like you're saying everything that I want to hear. And I thought the editing crew did a really good job of showing how different he was from when he was in the pods to when he was with the boys. Because after he proposed to Nicole, or maybe it was before he proposed, but anyway, he said something that he can wait to kiss her and hug her and pick her up. And then she said something, oh, you might not be able to. And then she like, shoosh. And he said, oh, why not? He was telling the boys, I proposed, she said 1,000 times yes, but it worried me because I mentioned that I was going to pick her up and she said I might not be able to. I don't mind a little meat, but say it, Sam. You don't mind a little meat, but you don't want to get stuck with a fat person. It's funny because when he said, I wonder if I can pick you up, I was like, what in the shake is going on here? Even Jasmine, who he was dating for a little bit, she said to Nicole, he lacks depth. And that was so true. And then we have Benaya. He does freelance and he mentions that he's homeless, but not that he lives on the street, but he doesn't have a home because he does house sitting, and he's like a digital nomad, which basically, you take your computer anywhere in the world, as long as you have a strong Wi-Fi, you can do your work. There's a website. If you want the link, let me know. I'll send you my link. You got a discount. I got a discount. It's called Trusted House Sitters. It's really cool. You can travel all over the world if you're someone that works from home. Basically, like you house sit or you dog sit or you cat sit. You get to stay in all these places for free. And I found this place in Greece. It was like beautiful place, like a mansion by the water to take care of like 2 cats. So when he said that's what he does, he gained extra points on my book. What I wish Nicole, would have got more into details, like the freelance work. What kind of freelance do you do? People need to get into those details as far as like careers, money, how much money you make, what's your salary? Is this freelance thing just temporarily? Do you come with any debts, student loans? Even though we love Ben, I don't think that Ben and Nicole would have worked out. I don't think he's ready to settle down. Maybe he's ready to have a relationship and find someone that wants the same thing out of life as he does, to, hop around and travel the world. But what's her name? Nicole, she has a corporate job. She has an MBA, for God's sake. I think she wants a stable life, like a home, a job. She mentions that, she wants to travel around, but I don't think she wants to do that for a living. And speaking of finances, what do I always tell you guys? That a couple needs to be on the same page, 3 aspects: sex, money, and religion. I would kind of add politics nowadays. Apparently in the UK, you also need to be on the same page as far as football teams goes, because there's a couple, they're talking and he asks, what's her team? And she's like, Arsenal. And then he said, oh no, this is not gonna work. And she's like, are you Spurs? And then they're like, yeah, this is not gonna work. Back to Nicole, Sam, and Benny. That aerial shot that Netflix did of the pods where Sam was in one pod and then Benny was in the other waiting for Nicole, and both of them were like, Nicole, and we're like, who, like which door she's going to? When she walked in Sam's door, I was shaking my head so hard that I almost got a whiplash. And I thought all the questions that she was asking him were so naive. Are you here for the right reasons? Are you here for marriage and love and nothing else? And he's like, yes, yes, you have to trust me. Yes, yes. What do you think he's gonna say, girl? Nope, I just want fame. I have a bunch of quotes from him. He said, no one has ever loved me. I need someone to love me. And then after he proposed, she said, I love you. And he said, I think I love you. The proposal was so cringy. Look at this.
Let's do it.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Promise me you'll kiss me every morning and you'll kiss
Yes.
me every night. That's all I need.
Yes.
And I can assure you I'll give you everything, okay?
Yes. Okay. I trust you, and honestly, I love you.
I think I love you too. I can't believe it.
Oh, I know.
Trust me, it's going to be awesome.
This man was so self-centered that, you know, when he was saying she's going to provide me a lifetime of happiness, instead of saying, I'm going to provide her a lifetime of happiness. She's going to carry our kids. And the hits kept coming. He said, I'm just a boy who wants to love a girl. What in the Naughty Hill is going on here? Did he just watch Naughty Hill and stole that line from Julia Roberts? I'm just a girl standing in front of a boy. I'm just a boy who wants to love a girl? Get out of here. To top it all off, he said, I don't care what anyone else thinks. She's gorgeous. What do you mean? I don't care what anyone else thinks. What is there to think? This woman, it's gorgeous. Then in my head, I thought, was this like a little racist undertone? Did you guys get the vibe too? Let me know. He was asking the color of her eyes. What color are your eyes? It's like the playbook. He had so many rehearsed lines that did not land because her eyes are black, dude. If it was a chick with, you know, grayish, bluish, greenish eyes, Nicole was like, black. And he's like, oh, boring brown. Oh, you deserve better than me. I'm not good enough. You know what they say? When somebody shows you who they are the first time, believe them. Because he also kept saying, trust me, you have to trust me. And then at one point, it's just like, should I trust you? It's almost like when someone says, I'm a good person, I'm really a good person. You start doubting them. You're like, are you really a good person, or are you just trying to tell yourself that you're a good person? Even when he was describing the engagement, Sam was telling the story, and then he's like, yeah, this and this, la-di-da. And I'm like, la-di-da? Another hilarious thing about this guy is that because he mentioned his Instagram, I was like, let me take a look and see if he does look like a fuckboy. There is a picture, I'll pull it up right now, of him holding a dog. The caption says, 500 likes and I got the dog. I looked at the likes, 249 likes. This man couldn't even get 250 likes for the picture. People see right through him. They're like, don't get the dog, don't get the dog. And at the end, they showed them packing, and Nicole was like packing her luggage, and she said there was a bad vibe. They broke up. So they didn't go on a honeymoon, but she wants to meet up with Ben. This is the whole Zach, Irina, Bliss thing. Even though for Bliss and Zach, I rooted for them. There was something about them that were like, yeah, I like them together. I mean, we see that they're going to meet up. I just hope he doesn't take her back. I mean, for the sake of both of them. I think both of them are great people. I just don't see them together. And it's funny because what's her name? Nicole. When she was, you know, the two pods, we saw which one she was going to pick. And she was saying like, it's my gut. I have to trust my gut. I have to trust my gut. And then she went to Sam. I was like, where did your gut get you? Some acid reflux, girl. And then when she's about to meet up with Ben, she's like, I have to follow my heart. I'm going to follow my heart. I'm like, now you want to follow your heart? What happened to your gut? Let me know in the comments down below. What did you think of Love is Blind UK so far? Which couple are you rooting for? Do you think Ben is going to take Nicole back? And then if you have watched Mexico, in comparison to the UK, which one is your favorite? I hope I get to do a video about Mexico. We'll see how I do on time. But yeah, if you like this video, make sure you hit the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and also hit the little bell, the notification button, so you don't miss any future videos. And I'll see you next time.